Hi folks, I'm Asher. Thank you for joining me on my channel when we're healing. Today we're going to do a sacral chakra yoga sequence. Please bear with me, I have broken up with my video editing software, so we are raw dogging this. To begin with, I would like to invite you to join me in accomplished pose. So to get into this pose, we're going to bring our first foot. I like to bring my left foot towards the pelvis. I want the heel resting right at the pelvis. Then we're going to bring our right foot in, stacked right in front of that left foot. So before we get into the actual flow sequence, I would like to invite you to join me for a sacral chakra mantra. So we're going to make a sacral chakra mudra, which is a hand gesture. We're going to place our right hand palm up on top of our left hand, also palm up. And we're going to bring both of our thumbs together like this. And we're going to place our hands right in between the belly button and the pelvis, which is where the sacral chakra resides. So after our next big inhale, please join me in repeating the mantra VAM. Awesome. Now, finally, before we get into the sequence, I would also like to invite you to join me with repeating a sacral chakra affirmation. And it goes like this. I am emotionally balanced, and I enjoy safe and comfortable relationships with those who love me. Excellent. Thank you so much. So to begin our sacral chakra flow, and it will be mostly a seated flow, we're going to begin in a forward fold, a seated forward fold. So, sitting with our legs straight out, tall on the sit bones, flexing the feet. Inhale, tall, 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 lengthening the spine. And on the exhale, going to bend at the hips, reaching towards the toes. Now, as far as modifications are concerned, you want to make sure that wherever is comfortable for you to reach is where you stop. It's also fine to have a little bit of a micro bend in your knees, or alternatively, you could take up one of your blankets and maybe fold it a little nicer than I have, and use it to help tilt your pelvis forward to reduce some of the strain on your knees and calves. So as we inhale in this pose, we're going to lengthen the spine, and on the exhale, we're going to try and deepen into the stretch. And on the next inhale, sitting up. Excellent. Similar to the pose that we just did, I would like to invite you to join me in a head-to-knee pose. I will start off with bending the left leg just so I can do the demonstration. But similarly to the first pose, we're sitting tall on those sit bones. We have our legs stretched out in front of us with the feet flexed. The only difference is that we're now going to bend that left knee, bringing the sole of the feet, the left foot, to the right thigh. And sitting up tall, lengthening the spine on the inhale, and on the exhale, folding forward. And again, just like with the seated forward fold, you want to reach wherever is comfortable for you, whether that's your knee, your calves, your foot. And the same modifications apply for this pose as well. If you're finding that you're experiencing any kind of strain in the knee or in the calves, feel free to just sit on a folded blanket to help lift your pelvis up and alleviate some of that tension. And just like with the seated forward fold, on the inhale we're going to lengthen the spine, and on the exhale we're going to deepen that stretch. On the next inhale, raising ourselves up and switching legs. So extending that left leg out straight, flexing that left foot, bending the right knee, and bringing the right sole of the foot to the left inner thigh. Again, on our inhale, we're going to lengthen the spine, sitting up tall. And on the exhale, making sure that we're folding from the hips and reaching for wherever is comfortable in our bodies on our left leg. As we inhale, lengthening the spine, pulling the chin in towards us to help lengthen it further. And on the exhale, deepening into that stretch. On the next inhale, sitting up, straightening both of our legs out. Going to move into a pose called the East Stretch pose. This is not one of my more regular poses, but it's a great counter pose to the seated forward fold that we just did, and the head to knee fold that we just did. So to get into the East Stretch pose, we're going to begin in staff pose, keeping our legs stretched straight out, our feet flexed, and our arms straight, aligned with the shoulder, hands hip width apart. And we're just going to walk our hands back, roughly 6 inches behind us. And on our next inhale, we're going to lift our bodies up, straightening the arms and the legs, lifting the hips as high as they'll go, and exhaling our heads back. We want to ensure that our feet are planted firmly on the ground. And exhaling down. Bending the knees. In front of us, we're going to lay back. And we want to make sure that our feet are hip width apart and that they're just slightly out of reach of our fingertips behind our butt. So on our next inhale, we're going to lift with our legs, really, really firmly pushing into the ground with our feet, really activating and engaging the glutes and the legs. And we're going to take our hands, interlace them, rotating the arms in towards us, and using our arms to help stabilize and deepen this stretch even further as we push off from the ground. Now, as far as modifications are concerned, if you are not comfortable interlacing your hands, feel free to have them resting palms face down on the ground, or alternatively, you can just have them out to your side. And on our next exhale, let's release. Sitting up, keeping the knees bent as we move into boat pose. So we're going to start off by lifting both legs, keeping them bent. And for the modification, you can continue to keep them bent if you're finding it challenging to stabilize yourself. And I apologize, I should have mentioned before, lifting our legs, we want to tilt our pelvis back slightly, and that's going to help stabilize us. So we want to extend those legs straight, and to help keep us stable, we'll have our arms straight out. And for the modification, you can keep the knees bent. And on the next inhale, releasing the feet back down. Going to move into reclining bound angle pose. So keeping the knees bent, spreading the legs, and bringing the soles of the feet together. And as we exhale, we're just going to lay down on our backs, arms outstretched, and just breathe. And finally, in your own time, I invite you to join me in extending the legs out straight, bringing the arms to the sides, palms face up, ready to receive from the universe. And really, really sit in your body, enjoying this moment, allowing the ground to cradle you. Really, really just sinking into the floor, trusting that the earth will hold us. start wiggling those toes, hands, and sitting up. Well, thank you for joining me today for the first Sacral Chakra yoga sequence that I have done. And I look forward to seeing you again for the solar plexus chakra yoga sequence. Namaste.